Have you ever wanted to eat healthier or lose fat, but you didn't really know how to or the right path to take, or you've done so much cardio to the point where you're about to pass out, but you're still not losing fat? I've been there too. I'm here to show you two main and specific and very simple ways that you can lose fat without having to starve yourself, and you don't have to do all these crash diets and all this other weird stuff that really in the end you really don't have to do. It's actually very simple, and I will tell you those and these two main points. So let's get started. First, I want to talk about my first topic, which is the first main point, which is a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit is what you need to lose fat. You need to be able to eat less calories than you are burning off. That's what a calorie deficit is. Now, a lot of people take this to the extreme. They tend to starve themselves and not eat enough for their body to sustain it, and then their body goes into starvation mode. And starvation mode is basically where your body gets to the point where it's like, oh, I need more food, so I need to go into starvation mode. I need to go into survival mode. So then your body starts storing onto everything, every little thing that comes into your body. It could be a piece of bread. Either way, it gets stored. That means it gets stored as fat, and then you'll start gaining more fat, and then that'll mess up your mental state, first of all, because you're just like, oh, I'm gaining more fat when I'm supposed to be losing fat. This isn't working, and then you crash, and then it's just not a good state to be in. So you don't want to starve yourself. And there's many other reasons why you shouldn't starve yourself, but I'll be talking about that later on. This is why a slight calorie deficit is way better and healthier for you. Is you don't want to go super into it, because once your body gets used to it, it's just like drugs, like any type of drug, melatonin, Zyrtec, anything. Or pre-workout, like if your body gets used to it, then you're probably gonna have to take a few weeks off of it so that it can get the same result. Because if you or you would have to add more onto it, so you would have to. I don't know if you've seen those videos where people, instead of taking one scoop, they take 2 scoops of pre-workout, and then they take 3, and that's not good for you at all, and that leads to overdosing and bad things. So it's just like that with the calories. Once your body gets used to it, you're gonna have to go even lower to be able to lose fat. So that's why you want to do it slower, so that then after a few weeks of doing that, then you're still losing fat, because you're still eating enough too. You're not starving yourself. And that's why it's a lot better way to do it. Now back to starving yourself. If you're not getting enough calories, first of all, you won't be gaining muscle, and it's a myth that you don't gain muscle while you're losing fat or on a cut. But if you're not eating enough, you're not going to gain muscle. You actually may lose muscle. You're going to look like a stick, and it's just not good for you. It's a very unhealthy way to live, and it's just a really bad thing to do in general. But according to healthguidance.org, when it comes to starving yourself while dieting, other factors include a lower metabolism level, loss of energy, and loss of appetite through dehydration. So that just goes to show that it's not good to starve yourself on any circumstance. Now, even when sticking to a script, like I said, staying on a certain diet plan and just going down calories, your body, like I said, gets used to the calories, so you don't want to keep doing that. So you have to experiment. Everybody's body is different. If you're in a certain calorie range, but it's something from online that somebody else is doing, and it's not working for you, but you're wondering why, that's probably why, because not everything that works for somebody else is going to work for you. So you have to figure out what works for you. You have to experiment. Now there's many diets out there that promise you the world, like keto. Keto is a big one. So Yes, all these diets work, and the reason why is because they all lead to a calorie deficit. Keto leads to a deficit because it is all protein, basically. No carbs, maybe a little fat. And if you have all that protein is less calories in general. But when you think of carbs, carbs are always what adds the calories. There's no such thing as a bad food. It's always either if you're getting enough calories or not eating enough calories. So carbs are what really add a lot of calories. So if you're just eating protein, then you're going to be in deficit either way most of the time, and you're filling your body up because protein is more filling. So that's the real main reason why keto works. And all these other diets the same way. They all lead to a calorie deficit in some way. It's just, I would think of it as not diets, but strategies. The second main thing that you want to focus on when losing fat is weight training. Weight training and cardio. Now, there's many types of cardio, but a very big type of cardio is HIIT training. And that's because HIIT training, you're using those type 2 muscle fibers so that you can, they burn out quicker. They're shorter, like sprints and stuff like that. Not endurance training. HIIT training, it's a lot shorter time, and you're burning more calories after workout, actually, just like weight training. Because in weight training, you're also doing the same thing. It's a shorter amount of time. It's not as much endurance unless you're doing a certain endurance weight training workout. But if it's the same way, you burn calories after the workout, and that's because your muscle is trying to build back up, and it's using that energy or ATP to go towards your muscle. And if your body isn't getting enough calories, then it starts burning the fat. And that's why it's better to do weight training and a calorie deficit, because then you will keep your muscle, you will maintain your muscle, because it'll actually cut down the fat to put towards that muscle, or that energy to put towards that muscle. That's why it's so much better. It's literally simple. It's so simple. The two main things is just weight training and a calorie deficit, and that's it. The problem is that people overdo cardio to the point that they are losing muscle because they're burning off all these calories, and like I said, that leads to starving yourself if you're not eating enough, and then you'll get in starvation mode, yada, yada, yada. So it's just not good for you, and but those are the main things. It's weight training, cardio, and a calorie deficit. If you have all three of those things, you will lose weight. You will lose weight. Now, if you're not progressive overloading in the gym and going heavier in the gym, doing weight training, you might not keep your muscle on as well. But if you're doing some kind of weight training, most of the time, you're going to keep that muscle, maybe even gain that muscle, because that you're burning off whatever energy you're getting is going towards your muscle, so that then it can't go towards your fat. So then your body will burn that fat to go to your muscle. Your fat doesn't turn into muscle, but it burns your fat and your energy, so that then that can go towards your muscle instead. So, moral of the story: cardio, weight training, calorie deficit all lead to losing weight. Best way to cut. Very simple ways. And so thank you for watching. My name is Jalen Moss.